Okay, really quickly, we are going to go over your new project. And so you guys, typically it's easiest to get into groups of 3 or 4. It kind of depends on how big the class is. We'll kind of go from there. So let's actually look at your weekly paper first for this week. I want to go over the terms, the payday terms, and then we'll talk about the project instructions. Okay, so look at your weekly paper. Corono, this is the root word for heart, like a coronary is pertaining to the heart. Thrombo is the root word for clot, like a thrombosis is a condition of a clot. It's like having a clot. Thrombolysis is getting rid of a clot or destroying a clot. Thrombos, clot. Athero, this is plaque, like plaque that builds up in your blood vessels and your arteries. Veno is vein. Ventriculo is the root word for ventricle, and we'll learn the different parts of the heart later this week, but the ventricle is actually the lower portion, so the larger chambers of the heart, the 2 bigger chambers in the bottom of the heart. Valvo or valvulo, this is for valve, and if you'll know, remember back from biology, you have little valves or doors and openings in between each little room inside the heart. That's what it's talking about. Atrio is the root word for atrium, which are the upper chambers of the heart. So you have the atrium, the atria, and the ventricles. Sclerosis is a suffix that means hardening. So like arteriosclerosis is hardening of the arteries, or atherosclerosis is hardening of plaque that's built up in the arteries. Angio is vessel, could be artery or vein, potentially. Arterio, artery, that one's not real hard to figure out. A lot of these you guys saw. You did them whenever you did your big poster bodies. MI is myocardial infarction, and what this is this is just the medical term for a heart attack. Okay, it's where you get a blood clot in one of the blood vessels that actually surrounds the heart. CV is the abbreviation for cardiovascular, so we're talking about the heart and vessels. EKG or an ECG, I've seen it written both ways. This stands for electrocardiogram. And I think we've talked about that word before, but remember a gram is like a record or a picture. An electro would be the electrical activity of the heart. Okay? CHF is congestive heart failure. And we're going to talk about that later this week, exactly what that is. But it's basically like your heart, it's not a failure like, oh, you have congestive heart failure, you need a new heart today. Congestive heart failure is a chronic disease where your heart has just been really overworked and has a hard time pumping efficiently because of the work that it has to do. And then K is potassium. You've learned that on your periodic table, so that one's not real hard. Okay, so let's look at your project and go over the instructions. Okay, so it says on here you're to get in partners or groups of 3. 4 is fine too, if that's what you need to do. Okay, your assignment is to create a song with a performance or a video about the flow of blood through the heart and body. It can be your own tune, so you can make up the tune, or you can do it to the tune of another song. So like I told my other classes, Gangnam Style, I had somebody do that song a couple years ago when that was all popular. I had one do the song, or theirs too, Sexy and I Know It. So their rendition of that was It's Pumpin' and I Know It. And I'll actually give you guys the link to that one so you guys can see it. They did a really great job. Any genre of music, if you want to rap it, if you want to opera it, I don't know the word, how to say that, sing it. Anyways, so that's not really how you say that, I know that, but any genre is allowed. You are to include the following parts of this process. Okay, so they're listed 1 through 15 on here. You have to include these. They need to be in the correct order. Now, you may have something like in your chorus, you may have a specific part, like you may talk about one section, and that's okay. You'll kind of hear it. Whenever you see the example, you'll be able to maybe pick out kind of what I mean. So it goes in this order, and we'll talk about this order in particular as we get through the PowerPoint this week. So look at the bottom. It says your video or song should be creative and utilize whatever resources you have. Okay, if you create a video, we will show it in class. We will be seen. If you do a song, then you're going to have to perform it in class. So if you choose not to do a video, now when I say do a video, you still have to come up with your own song. Okay, don't be going to YouTube and searching for other people's songs that they've written. Like, I want you to come up with the words on your own. Okay, so you can either do your song on video, or you can do your song in a performance in class, but the performance is going to be part of it. Okay, you need to come in full dress. You need to, really perform the song. It should be a production. Okay, this is a test grade. The rubric is on the back of your paper, and we'll do group participation, of course. Make sure you read the rubric so you know what is included. So look, each part of the process is addressed and used in the appropriate order. 3 points each. Okay, the fact that everybody is involved, that's 25 points. And then the rest of it is 30. So creativity is 10. Presentation and the flow of the video, like, is it easy to watch? Does it make sense? That's 10 points. And then, is it entertaining? Okay, if you perform this song and everybody stands up and sings monotone or doesn't sing, they just speak the words, okay, that's not going to be very entertaining or creative. So make sure you get with that. You're going to have lots of time to do this. You basically are going to have, at least for my Cooper classes, basically are going to have until the week before spring break, probably that Tuesday before spring break, to get this done, Tuesday or Thursday. I don't know if I've set an actual date yet, but we will. Yeah, so that's that. If you guys have any questions, make sure and write them down, and you can ask me whenever I get back to class. That is the project.